The Akashic Records. That's an anime. A compendium of all that exists in the world, like a cross between a historical account and a prophecy. The past, the present, the future. It's said that every event in history occurs in accordance with the Akashic Records. A cross between a historical account and a prophecy. The first time I heard of it, I thought it was a ludicrous concept. People's day-to-day lives, the motions of the stars, even the creation of death and death of the universe, every little detail is written down somewhere. No way that's possible. It would have to be a simply unfathomable amount of data. Who would even read it? Would God flick through its pages? Guffaing? I've never heard of that word. Guffaing to himself like he was reading a manga? No way that's possible. But the older I've become, the more I've started to entertain the possibility of its existence. Life is surprisingly routine. Wake up in the morning, go to work, eat, take a dump, take a bath, sleep, rinse and repeat. See, you can sum it all up in one sentence. It might only take a single sheet of paper to record my entire life for all I know. You could try dramatizing the story a bit, but still it wouldn't exceed the length of a regular novel. Even then, you would be able to fit 5 people's lives into a single floppy disk. 2,000 people on one CD, 300,000 on one DVD, 20 million on one Blu-ray. This world of ours is surprisingly tiny. It wouldn't be all that strange if God had created the Akashic Records in his spare time just for fun. If he had. Would that make the world nothing more than data to be processed? Just as the plot of any given movie never changes and the staff credits always roll after 2 hours, will we also reach the end of some set path when the time comes? Would the same events repeat themselves if we pressed replay? Some interpretations would suggest so, others wouldn't. It's the latter that interests me more. It could be that the Akashic Records aren't just meant to be read like a CD-ROM, but are more like a rewritable CD-R. And once the data has been read through to the end, the records are rewritten. Then the next time that they're being played through, events will work out a little differently than they did before. That's right, we're talking reincarnation. According to this thinking, when people die, only the soul endures and returns to the Akashic Records. It waits here for some time, and when that period has elapsed, you reappear in this life with the same soul. You don't keep your memories from your past life, of course. Your face, or your name, your face, and even your sex might change, but you'd be connected some way or another. You'd still bear the same role, the same fate that you did in your past life, the same karma. It's like a bond, a tether to your past self. Here, I'm able to find meaning in a life of routine for the first time. Here, it might be possible for me to achieve what I was unable to back then, to fulfill the mission I couldn't. When that happens, I'll be released from the loop. For the first time, my soul will be saved. But back to my main point. The Akashic Records, the system that underpins everything in this world, a road to salvation for every living soul. So far, so good. Also, like, I'm looking at a piece of paper right now, and who wrote this? Or maybe it is still a dream by Setsuna. The problem is what lies outside that system. If there were some entity overseeing the Akashic Records, I wonder what they'd think of it all. Outside of the system, the past, the present, and future are all of equal value. A simple gesture, lifting the needle from the record and placing it elsewhere, enables you to retrieve any past data you want at any time. It's there that those who ought to have been freed from the system would still find themselves imprisoned. Wouldn't they see the defects in the system before them? Wouldn't they turn their noses up at this little dollhouse of a world? Wouldn't they consider just destroying it all, removing the record from the player and smashing it to pieces? Or maybe mightn't they regret it? Wouldn't they regret being stuck outside of the system? Jeez. This is some philosophy stuff. Oh, the alarm goes off again. Again. Shake, shake. Groggily arrives from the bed. I'm awake. As if I could sleep with that alarm clock blaring right next to my ear. It's alright, come on, pass it over. Click, click, click. It's not stopping. Is it broken? Well, given how beat up it is, it's a miracle it's still working at all. This is really quite loud. There's nothing for it. Last resort. Phew, it's finally stopped. Thank goodness. Nah, I just took out the batteries. In my hand are some familiar looking manganese batteries. Why didn't I realize it before? These batteries are still usable. Return to each other, smiling broadly. Hooray! We hurriedly take out the cassette player and insert the batteries. Oh yeah, we were looking for AAAs, but this alarm clock uses AA's. It's a shame they're the wrong size. Oh, she's pretty reliable in times like these. Just wire them up. Ina starts turning the room upside down for some reason. After making a mess of the room. Bruh. Maybe she's not so reliable after all. But then... Dynamic as ever this morning, I see. I'm about to say that I'll tag along too, but... Sorry, I've got to work, I can't join you. Oh yeah. It's sad, despite all my lofty talk of saving the world, I'm just another working stiff. As an adult, as an upstanding member of society, there's just no way I can change my priorities. Nothing, I was just thinking... how put together you are? Ina puts out her chest, the room behind her in total disarray. Though you can be a bit sloppy sometimes. And you're a horrible sleeper, you're all over the place. I was on the verge of choking a few times last night. Ina's put out expression looks every part that of a child's. I'm sure it's growing up in these times that's given her this attitude. No one that so often puts her elders to shame. Sorry. I'm sure it's growing up in these times that's given her this attitude, one that so often puts her elders to shame. If she lived in a world of peace, freedom, and hope, she might well have been born with a very different character. Can you imagine? Alright, I'm gonna give it my best shot today. Fighting to make a living for myself. Yeah, I know. We're fighting to create a new world... we're fighting to create a world where everyone is free to be themselves. I'm sure I could be true to myself as well in a world like that. Phew, we're finally in the commercial district. Nah, I'm fine. We're only halfway there. I steady my breathing and readjust my rucksack. There's still another set of stairs up to the church. I can't wear myself out here. Yes. Yeah, that's it, what you said. Though it's not like I've ever seen or heard of the place before. Then why are people getting malnourished? Like you. She first found me some random colorless from God knows where. Nina generously shared her bread with me, and that wasn't the only time. I may have found a job, but I'm not receiving rations yet. Even the packed lunch in my rucksack must have come from the family's emergency stores. And Nervin wouldn't even take the money I tried to hand him last night. Oh yeah, I'd better give this to you before I forget. Take out the money left in my pocket and stuff it into Nina's hand. You're going shopping later, aren't you? Just give the change to Nervin if there's too much. Jeez, this kid's just way too nice. Someday, some asshole's going to scam her. She'll give everything up for him and get tossed aside. Oh, I don't know. Maybe I'm worrying too much. But my situation with Nina at the moment is getting pretty close to that. Yeah, I really don't want to be that asshole. Feeling someone's gaze on me, I turn around, but all I see is the entrance to a dimly lit alleyway. I wonder who's in there. Nothing, I just feel like somebody's watching me. Oh, sorry about that. It might look peaceful at first glance, but the island was rife with conflict until just 5 years ago. Even now, it's a place of suffering and poverty. I have to watch my back. I'm going up. How about you? Honestly, I feel nervous leaving her in such an unsafe place. I'd stick right by her if I could. Unfortunately, it's not possible. Also, she's been living here for what was it again? 13 years or something? But that would make me an asshole. I have things I need to do, and they're necessary, not just so I can protect my own way of life, but hers too. Okay, sorry for always relying on you for this stuff. Instead of saying goodbye, I give her beheaded head another rub. Okay, I will. I want to quit already. There are loads of mass services today, and it's Sada's turn to deliver all the sermons. I was convinced that sermons were stuffy, formal things, but I didn't think my expectations would be so readily betrayed. My job is to hold off the crazy Sarah devotees and keep them from getting too close to her. Where on earth do these groupies come from? I wanted to ask them why they weren't at work, but the guard who came over to help me told that people can take the day off when there's mass. This world might be freer and more peaceful than I thought. My thoughts. I do actually have to look up this word. I'm pretty sure I know what it means, but talk on a religious or moral subject, especially one given during church service and based on a passage from the Bible. That's about what I expected from this word to mean, but I wasn't sure, and since it came up multiple times, it's best for me to look up. I'm not native English, so there's been plenty of words in this visual novel that I didn't even know. It's the kind of thing you learn, because there's no way that I would know the entire English vocabulary from just having had school and some online experience. Anyway, oh, that's what she means. Wait, I was thoughts on regards to the sermon, that is. I wasn't able to hear all of it with the shrill voices drowning her out. From what I could hear, I think she was mainly talking about the island's origins. Long ago, the nations of the globe prospered. Nations of the globe, right, so also I'm very dark, but I couldn't be bothered to turn on the light and stuff. Long ago the nations of the globe prospered, which means long ago as in the time where Earth is right now, like our time probably, 2020, 2020. Haha, 2020 going off to a great start. Though small skirmishes kept erupting, it was generally a time of peace. But that period of peace would not last forever. Suddenly, in 2020, coronavirus started World War III. No. We were plunged into an age of sleep. The first to act was a great empire far to the north. Struck with famine and cold, they prepared to venture south to invade the prosperous nation that lay across the border. Similar wars broke out across every land. The nations of the earth were torn apart, and the world was eventually divided into a handful of powerful blocks. It was after coming this far that people finally realized simply stealing from one another doesn't solve anything. Every country threw everything they had against the intensifying chill. Right, so the earth chilled down. Take a chill pill. The earth chilled down. Ice Age. Essentially, I'm assuming another Ice Age has started. Every country threw everything they had against the intensifying chill. One nation tried to create a second sun here on Earth. Another looked into colonizing other planets. Others fell into ruin as they scrambled together reckless plans of action. Among them was the Eurasian Union, which chose to wait out the cold. In their attempt to weather the Ice Age, it is indeed Ice Age, they built a giant underground shelter. As they decided who should live in the shelter, however, they fell into infighting. Anarchy descended on the Eurasian Union. So, Eurasian? Yeah, I don't know. Like, Urashima is how I pronounce it, because Japanese, but whatever, it doesn't really matter. Eurasian Union. And it is said that pillage and slaughter ran rampant. In fact, by that time, it's doubtful that there were any nations left on planet Earth. Those who had managed to survive escaped into the neglected island and closed off the gate to prevent outside invasion, which turned out to be mostly Japanese for some reason, so Japanese is still a language they all speak here, which... whatever. They were ancestors of the island's current residents.
人と人との争いによってこの星は一度滅びかけました。このアイランドは人類にとって最後の砦なんです。
That's why those of us alive today must not repeat the same mistakes. We mustn't descend into a meaningless conflict again. That about sums up Sada's sermon. Sada's lecture was logically explained easy even for someone as clueless about the island's history as me to follow. But it was also neat that's undeniably the reason why the story sounds a little made up. Humanity's last frontier. Look over to the rear of the chapel. Situated there is the gate mentioned in their sermon, the one that connects the island to the outside world. The gate has been under the church's jurisdiction since its inception, and it's never been opened. Well, we've already found a different gate to the outside world, and we've already been through it, and we've already seen what's out there, and there isn't very much out there. Mostly what appears to be ruins of old technology. Except when the exploration team was dispatched 5 years ago. Is the outside world really destroyed? What if there's still a country somewhere on this planet that's flourishing right now? That's what I'm thinking too. Like, how are you so certain that you were the final place on Earth left? Like, you haven't been out here. You haven't gone outside here for many years. Who knows? There's another similar... forget the word... There's another similar place where a society is still doing okay. Or failing that, and another shelter like the island.
Avalon.
That's right. This kind of wishful thinking is how the fantasy of Avalon was born. It's in the scriptures too, so... That people aren't that foolish? That's right, people are supposed to be smart. We're smart enough to master multiple languages, fly all over the world, and communicate with others who hold all sorts of different perspectives. At first, there were great wars between nations, then civil war, and then those same conflicts were repeated on this tiny island. How far must we go before people are able to live hand in hand? Even if their were just two people left on Earth, would we still find it impossible to understand one another? I guess so, that's why I'm here. I was never able to see what was right in front of me. In the end, we weren't able to just talk with each other and accept each other. I was a fool, but...
もっとも、過去を嘆いたところで何も始まりません。だからこそ今、思いを一つにする必要があるんです。
She's right. There's still time. The world hasn't ended just yet.
私たちは今、分岐点に立っているんです。
We've reached this point through mistake after mistake. Humanity's last frontier, the island Urashia, whatever. If we can make it out of this present situation, we can take the future in our hands. By saving this tiny little island, we can save the world. Right, in that case, I shall dub thee Sarah Blue.
Sarah Blue とは?
Blues are always reliable thinkers. You should become the island's model citizen and guide everyone else here.
はい?
Speak up. You think you'll make it as a blue with that kind of resolve?
はい!
Right, that's better. It's the side chapel next, isn't it? Rangers, move out.
さっきからそれは何なのでしょう?
It's something that Nina taught me to always stay positive no matter the situation. If we do that, we can save the world. Her boobs are enormous. Sarah Blue. Oh, it was a song? I don't even. Let's just not even.
さすがに少し疲れました。
We sit down on the same bench we did yesterday and proceed to have lunch together. And what do you know, lunch is the same as yesterday. Corn sandwiches. The main chapel was a big success. They were even clapping at the end.
お恥ずかしい限りです。4回も噛んでしまいましたし。
Oh, you haven't heard me read the lines in this game. I have stumbled over my words way too many times. Don't worry, it was cute.
かわいいですか?
I mean, isn't that partly why so many people came to listen to your sermons? I don't mean this especially seriously. But Sarah stares off into the sky and lets out a massive sigh.
残念ながら今の私の声はごく一部の住民にしか届きません。本当に届けたい子たちには
Well,
相手にもされません。
yeah, because they don't have collars and they're underground and the future rests on their shoulders. I see. If the kids shared that wish of hers, then the island just might be able to change. Did you notice, Sarah? That girl was there in the back corner.
女の子?
The girl who thanked you yesterday. I knew right away from her rather dirty appearance. She must have known about today somehow and decided to come and listen to Sarah's talk. Your voice reached her. Maybe she's spread the word to her friends by now. Though she did get dragged out by the guards when they spotted her midway, though. But the church's very nature might change one day. 'Cause at its center stands...
だと嬉しいですね。
this girl before me now.
ですが4回も噛んでしまいましたし。
Like I said, I stumble over my words many, many times. Seriously, has she still not gotten over that?
壇上に上がるときこけてしまいましたし。
Right, okay, that... yeah, that was a bit embarrassing. Her panties would have been showing if she'd been wearing a short skirt, but she isn't, so what...
途中で催してきてしまいまして。
That's what that weird wriggling was. Didn't need to know that.
緊張してたんです。実は私、大聖堂を任されるのは初めてで。
Well, it looks like you actually have many fans, so I think it would have been
うまく
okay.
伝わったでしょうか。皆さんの時間を無駄にはしなかったでしょうか。
Jeez. You did a fine job. I wouldn't have known it was your first time if you hadn't told me.
ですが4回も。
Oh boy, stream's lagging. Hello. Okay. If it were me, I'd never have been able to speak in front of a crowd that large.
そうなんですか?
I might not look it, but I'm actually pretty shy.
意外すぎます。
And you're rather blunt. The game's lagging too. Hell yeah. Epic. I just restarted my computer. It's all fresh. because of the crash that happened, and yet everything's already lagging like crazy. I think there must be something wrong with my video driver. I probably should update that as soon as I finish today's stream. You must be 30 after 30 thirsty after all that talking. I hand her a flask. I'm not exactly working my ass off here. I don't mind if you finish it off. Didn't think she'd be the type to care about stuff like that. Don't worry, I haven't drunk from it yet. Sada brings the neck of the flask to her mouth and drinks it down in several large gulps. Nope, get your mind out of the gutter, cause it's just, oh, dude, main characters. Jesus. Haha, funny. It's just a stinky chlorinated water in there, but her cheeks have reddened and her eyes have narrowed. I guess they don't know anything better, so to them that water is the water that they have. They don't know what unchlorinated water is. And MC knows that without realizing it. He does know what it tastes like. She's in a much more important position than I am, and she's been thinking far, far more seriously about the island than I have. But she's just an ordinary girl, someone trapped inside the system, tossed around in time's currents. Someone I have to save. She places her head on my shoulder. I'm Sada, what are you? Hey, say something. Instead of giving me a reply, she wraps her arms around me. Oh wait, Sada, we're in public. Oh no, hugging in public. I thought it was just... Have I given her a beer by accident? Sarah bounces up into the air and averts her gaze from me. Her face is bright red. Just to cool off, Sarah downs the rest of the water in one gulp. She looks over to me, her eyes glazed over as though in a trance. Did I give her alcohol by accident? No way, don't tell me she... Give me that flask for a moment. I swear to God, it's alcohol, dude. I snatched the flask from Sarah's hand and swallowed a mouthful myself. What? This isn't water. A fiery sensation coursing through me. Don't tell me it's... I rode around my... Oh no! No! It's not that. I rode around in my rucksack to look for the health drink I bought yesterday. Oh no. Isn't that the... Oh, it's not there. Oh no, it's the wrong stuff. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. What? She's close, too close. The lips, they're closing in on mine. No, come on, we're in a park, and even if you weren't... This is kind of the Japan style of... Japan, or Japanese people not wanting public displays of affection. We're in a park, yeah, that's kind of how it works in the West, but in Japan that's not how it goes, but... Calm down, Sada, return to your senses. I shake her by the shoulders with all my strength, Jesus Christ. Oh, thank goodness she's back. No, it's not your fault. The ancient dragon tail stuff is pretty fearsome. What was it doing in a flask anyway? Adina prepared that for me. What? Oh, for fuck. It was her doing, huh? Maybe I'll make her swallow the rest of it by way of punishment. Wait, are you still in the heat? Jesus. Whoa, there are rubberneckers gathered all around us. What does that mean? I have a feeling I know what that means. Rubbernecking. What does that means? To turn one's head to stare at something in a foolish manner. I get it. It's just, you know, it's just like people staring. I might not be famous, but she certainly is. Yeah. Fleeing from the public eye, we shut ourselves in the lift compartment. I have no idea what the two of us should say to each other trapped in a confined space like this.
なんてものを飲ませるんですか、せつなさんは。
Wasn't me.
しつこく勧めてきたじゃないですか。
What? I was? Crap, I don't really know what I've done, but I seem to have ruined her impression of me. Is she going to fire me now, or perhaps even exile me?
ああいうのはですね、もう少し親密な関係になってからお願いします。
Well, that was very polite. So, you haven't shaken off the effects just yet?
そうみたいですね。
Guess I was pretty careless of me. Apologies.
今回だけは許して差し上げないこともなくはないですが。
Though there isn't anything I won't not forget. Okay, sorry. My brain's trying to figure out about the triple negative. So it's a negative, it gets negated, but it's still negative. There isn't anything I will forgive in this occasion. What on earth does that mean?
特別に不問としましょう。
Ah, whatever. It would be great, thanks. I let out a sigh. This isn't the first time she's let her guard down in front of me. Maybe it's just the way she is, but hey, Sarah. What if there's another reason for it? I'm only asking because you seem quite knowledgeable about all this stuff. The reason I put this disclaimer first might be because I don't entirely believe it myself. Do you think reincarnation exists? People are all connected. Parent to child, child to grandchild. That's how people's thoughts, people's wishes get passed down. In that case, her soul might just be...
生まれ変わりは私たちが掲げる教義の根本にある考え方ですね。死は終わりではなく始まりである。聖典にはそうあります。
That part I can accept. I used to think that when people died, that was the end of it. I used to think that reincarnation was a fantasy, the sort of thing that belonged in legends or folk tales. But my story didn't end there. I came to the end, there was another blank page. Main character's having... I mean, he's essentially forgotten everything with a few glimpses in there, and like, some things come automatically to him, but he doesn't remember or realize why that's happening. For all he knows, he suddenly appeared. I came to the end, and then there was another blank page. But then, what's death? If we're just going to be reincarnated anyway, what meaning does death have?
生まれ変わるからこそ、人は生をおろそかにしてはいけないんです。
Huh.
死は人生の生産ではありません。生前の業はすべて蓄積されていくんです。一瞬でも生をおろそかにすることがあれば、それは未来永劫、私たちにつきまとうことでしょう。
Yeah, she might be right, but then the world's kind of suffocating, isn't it?
そうですね。いついかなる時も気を抜けないということですからね。
This game has actually been pretty philosophical, and that lapse just now was a big demerit, though.
それはもう忘れてください。
Surely it's fine once in a while. I imagine your god would forgive that much.
確かに聖典の教義には多少性に寛容な部分もありますし。
Oh, for example?
接吻は寛易にあらずとか。
Pretty sure I've said this once or twice before, but what kind of religious text is this?
古いものですから、現代の倫理観念とは異なる部分もあるんです。
Perhaps that's why the island's values seem so off. But it's good that they don't teach that just kissing is ought to get you death penalty or anything. Then I'd be done for already. By the way, there isn't like some monthly festival where you get to fondle all the boobs you want, is there? No shit! Damn it, that should be a priority. I'll definitely make them included in the calendar. Something like a flasher boobs day every 10 days. Yes, please, MC. What is even... But then I'll just be resurrected again and again. Well, if reincarnation really exists, that is. Yeah, doesn't sound like a good route.
地獄というのはですね、何階層にも分かれて深い地の底に存在し、それぞれの層では異なる苦しみが待っているそうですよ。
That's too horrific for words. But if that's hell, then what's heaven? The lift stops with a soft, pleasant ding.
さあ、行きましょうか。 子供たちがお腹を空かせて待っています。
Oh yeah. Please don't get hurt again. Hell sounds quite a lot like the island. Maybe I really was reborn in the depths of hell. Given all the bad karma I've amassed, the crime I'll never be rid of. What do you know, In that small open space amid the maze-like ruins, Sara and I distribute sandwiches. Though simply placing the basket on the ground and watching from afar hardly constitutes as distributing in my eyes, but if I'm not imagining things, I get the feeling that there are more children than there were yesterday. And actually, the sandwiches are disappearing more quickly than they did yesterday too. Does that mean they're starting to acknowledge the work that Sara is doing? Hey you there, no fighting, there's still some left.
ダメですよ、せつなさん。強い言葉をかけては。
Oops, sorry about that. As I turn to look, those children who did show themselves have again shrunk back into the shadows. Just how many children live here anyway? According to Sara, nobody knows the real figures. I wonder if that's because there's no point in finding out, or whether it's simply because no one wants to know. Most people prefer to avert their eyes from unpleasant things. Though not quite everyone.
さて、そろそろ戻りましょうか。
Only Sara would come down to a place like this on her own volition and acknowledge the presence of these poor kids, believing that to be the path to the future. By the way, how are you? Any nausea?
そんなの、せつなさんのセクハラですっかり吹き飛んでしまいましたよ。
Okie dokie, you can count on me for the journey back.
謹んで遠慮します。
Despite her joking tone, her face does look somewhat pale. She must be pushing herself so as not to worry other people. Not for me, of course, but the children. The kids here are extremely wary of outsiders. They'd hide at the slightest hint of harshness in your expression. Sara has tried to deal with this by approaching them gently, clearly. There's something almost maternal about it, actually. I wonder, Sara might even be thinking of becoming their mother. And she's got massive boobs to boot.
はいはい、いいから行きますよ。
Sara scurries away back to the lift. Hey, wait, if you leave me here... I stop. Something's pulling on the leg of my pants. Could it be? Hey, aren't you that kid from before? I kneel down so I'm at the level eye level with the kid. I knew it. She's the girl who came to listen to Sara's sermon. What's wrong? Did you need me? What's up with her? I have to go with the corn lady. This time she's pulling on my sleeve. Do you want to take me somewhere? Looks like that's a yes. So I'm not quite sure about this kid. Oh, she's gone. Hey, don't pull on that so hard. I get it already. I'm really terrible with kids. I really am terrible with kids. She's taken me to one of the ruins facing the square. It's rather dark here, actually. Why'd you tell me already? What have you brought me here for? I just remembered something from the anime that... How are you telling me to sit here? I sit down on the spot she's pointing at. With my eyes finally getting used to the darkness and able to make out a little of my surroundings. I'm afraid of what's about to show up. It's a filthy room, but it also feels lived in. Is it her home? Don't tell me. The degenerate atmosphere, the girl's peculiar forwardness. I see what's going on. I was just flirting a little with Sara and this girl got the wrong end of the stick. Hang on a moment. So, just so you're aware, I don't have any money. I mean, I wouldn't do anything even if I did. Uh-oh. Bad. Uh-oh. The girl closes in on me and tries to climb on me. Okay, what part of this is okay? Pushes a finger to my lips. She uses her other hand to... Oh no, whack. Oh, what the hell? Dude, what is she... Next moment, a frying pan comes flying full throttle at my face. Doink, and I'm gone. That's bad. You got it all wrong. I was framed. I didn't do it. I'm innocent. I'm telling you. Oh, a dream, huh? I wonder what kind of dream he had after that one. And I wonder why he said that. I just had the most terrifying dream. Thrown in jail for soliciting a minor. Yeah, it was definitely a dream. No way I'd actually do something like that in real life. Anyway, I like big boobies. Where am I anyway? Some big empty space, like an old storeroom. There are axes and hammers. Last thing I remember, I believe, is in a girl's house. Why am I on the floor with my hand ties behind my... why am I on the floor with my hands tied behind my back? I wonder, could I be in a bit of a bind? What a pun. Oh, it's you. Footsteps shuffle closer to me. She's wearing shoes, proper shoes to make that sound. Damn, I can't turn my head to see. You don't recognize the voice? But the voice definitely belongs to... I'm very afraid. She steps over to me and sits down on the sofa in front of me. You, Karin. Wait, it is Karin, right? She seems a little different from yesterday. Yes. Trap, so you were... I go from before, pops up next to Karin. She looks like the... She almost looks like the researching girl woman from before. What's about to happen? Peach takes the candy and breaks into a smile. They pay with candy. Looking around, there's not just her. There are others, lots of them, staring at me from the distance. They're all little girls. There's a piercing glint in each of their eyes, and they're carrying all sorts of weapons, knives, metal pipes. Karin pops me some candy into her mouth and continues. Right. Island's revolutionary force. Right. Huh. They are Avalon. Suddenly worried, she finally unties my hands and I rub them together. Looking down at my wrists, I find that the hemp rope has left some deep marks. My wrists were tied super tight, but now you mention it, didn't hurt at all, weirdly enough. What? I won't ask what else their specialism entails. Are they just kidnapping people and stealing their money? Oh, they're all gone now. She lost Riley at me. That's the Karin I know. But she has another side to her. You guys leave the rest to me and get back to work. The one who issued that order was Karin Kurtz, the leader of the revolutionary force in New Avalon. Didn't Avalon make peace with the church? Karin suddenly shoots me a look. It was Dean. I cut myself off just as I am about to say her name. I can't get her involved too. It was my little sister. Feels extremely weird to be calling her my little sister. Oh, I can't be certain, but it seems she's a little more relaxed around me now. So it was like I don't know the English word for it. Oh, she has comrades. Comrades? I mean, those kids just now, weren't they all girls? Phew. She's clearly bluffing. It was 5 years ago when Avalon and the church were at war. There's no way kids were part of Avalon back then. That includes her. Fair enough. What's your goal then? Karin suddenly opens one of the crates piled on the ground. It's full of bombs. Excuse me. I'm just gonna... Yes. Bombs? Like actual bombs? Actually, on closer inspection, they're just firecrackers. Okay. A revolution? Whoa, that's so cool! How am I supposed to respond then? Well, so it all boils down to a small renegade army force facing off against the church. Actually, army is a stretch. It's more like a bunch of kids with their toys out playing at Playing at being a secret society. What's their motive for capturing me then?
そこであんたに頼みがある。何でもいい。教会の内部事情を調べて、
Right,
私
fair.
たちに報告してほしいんだ。
I could work. So I'm working as a spy. I did get in contact with the higher ups in the church, especially the daughter of the leader. I forgot the name they used. But in other words, you want me to be your spy? Exactly.
簡単だろ？サラのボディーガードのあんた
Exactly.
なら。
Well, I suppose it is. Sarah's quite relaxed around me, and whatever I ask, she gives me an answer 10 times as long. But this is a whole nother level. Why are you expecting me to work with you?
ただで協力してくれるとは思っちゃいねえよ。
No. Why are you pulling down my zipper? Uh-oh.
ギブアンドテイクってやつだよ。あんたは私に情報をくれる。私はあんたを満足させてやる。
I
それ
cannot
でみんな
accept
幸
this.
せだ。
I'm not happy about that.
だよ。私じゃ不満かよ。
That's not what I meant.
おい、ピーチご指名だ。
No. Wait a sec. When did I call for anyone else to
あい
sub
つ
in?
はうちの一押しだぞ。あどけない顔してるが、大人顔負けのテクリリピーター続出中だ。
Don't want to know. I don't want to know that.
ナンバー2はメロンとマロンだな。あいつらは双子で、
No!
前から後ろからの同
La
時
la
性
la
だ。
la, not listening.
ったく
Not
わ
listening.
がままなやつだな、あんた。
You're wrong.
とにかく私たちに協力してくれりゃ、どの子もよりどり緑だ。
Why does she think I'll cooperate on these conditions? And anyway, I couldn't spying on the church, even pretending to, end in a death penalty if it goes wrong. Sorry, I have to refuse. All I want is to live a normal, peaceful life.
あんな連中の言いなりになってっか。
What?
あんたの言う普通の暮らしを奴らが与えてくれんのか。奴らは何の罪もない人間を殺して回った。ただこのアイランドで暮らしてるだけの普通の人
I
間
know
もな。
the church is bad. So personally, I would probably be okay with it. But that was because Avalon grouped together and defied the church.
アバロンってのは心の問題だ。理想郷を求める人の気持ちがアバロンだ。アイランドで暮らしてる人間なら誰だってアバロンだ。
I see, that's what you meant by comrades earlier. So she seriously believed in it, that Avalon, the Holy Land, truly exists.
死んでった大人たちもここにいる子供たちもただの見せしめだ。二度とアバロンなんて夢を追わせねえようにするためのな。
Never pursue the dream of Avalon ever again. Cutting clicks her tongue in disgust and faces away. Just as I'm searching for the right words to say.
カレン呼んだ？ちょうどいい。そいつの前で服を脱いでやれ。まだこいつが6歳だった時だ。家に押し入ってきた教会の兵士にやられたんだ。両親は殺されて、こいつはたった一人でここに落ち延びてきた。最初はまともに言葉も喋れなくてよ。ようやく口を聞いてくれるようになったのは最近のことだ。もういいぞ、来ても。でもまだ。いいんだよ。生殺しにさせとく作戦だ。見ろ、あいつもうビンビンになってるだろ。ほら、まだ足りないって。ああ、もうあんたはもう。な、 だからもう行っていいぞ。これでも教会側に作ってんのか。好きでやってるわけじゃねえよ。けど大人は誰も私たちを守っちゃくれねえんだ。自分たちで生きてくしかねえだろ。だからそれが革命だろ。教会をぶっ倒して連中の手からアイランドを取り戻す。そうすりゃ私たちはこんなとこで生きていかなくても済むんだ。やってやる。絶対アイランドを解放してみせる。マジか。あんたならそう言ってくれると思ってたぞ。
I just realized my mic has been turned off all this time. That's fun. I'd forgotten to turn my mic back on. So imagine what I said. Just read. You just read. Oh no, I never turned. Good, then you never even got me. You never even got to hear it. Right, that's perfect. Because it was the perfect time where you'd rather not. That's so perfect. I couldn't have planned that better myself. Anyway, that's actually the perfect coincidence. Jeez, always so convinced she'll get her own way. Damn, am I just gonna ask? Hang on, I can't do that. At least leave it to my judgment. I'll tell you guys if there's something I think you should know about. Don't just go grabbing. No. Is she just doing this because she wants to? We'll deal with that later. Just take your hands off me. What the fuck? In what sense? What the fuck? That sentence just sounds so wrong in the Japanese one. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Come to think of it, I don't know much about the church. So I was the type to get sick very easily. Well, she's got an amazing rack too. What? That's pretty important in my eyes. Phew, she's finally let go of me. This game... So how's this going to work? Can I come here again? But how do I get back up to the surface though? Because Sada's... Like, what about Sada? I see, must be to keep me from giving their hideout away. What the hell, bruh? What's this, an escort service? She's serious. Can't you just come yourself? Kana's face goes so red I can almost hear whistling coming out of her ears. Is she getting the wrong idea here? I just meant that you'd be easier to talk to, that's all. Kanin spins round out of sight, doing a little fist bump. Better just let that go, I think. Jesus fucking Christ, this fucking game, dude. Can I take this off yet? Oh, right. I've not been able to see a thing for a few minutes now, Karin pulling me along. Bend my knees as instructed. Wah. She takes the hemp sack off my head. I can finally see again. Ah, fresh air at last. No, I get it. There's no guarantee I won't blab to the church about it after all. Oh. Well, I'm not from the island, I suppose. Maybe she sensed that about me. That might be why I was chosen. That's what it was.
ピーチのやつすっげえ喜んで食ってたぞ。だからあいつに迎えに行かせたんだ。
What was with that honey trap business anyway? If you have something to say to me, come meet me yourself.
私にもメンツってもんがあんだよ。客として偶然知り合ったっての
You
は
have that. You're a bunch of kids. Not a client.
恋人プレイがいいのか？そうか
The
そう
fuck?
か。
I just crossed your arms like you know what's what. Jesus, this game, man.
注文の多いやつだな。
Stop with the stuff already. However I may look to you, I'm actually a pretty respectable guy.
いや、はんなって。今朝だって女の子に金渡してたじゃねえか。
What are you talking about? I never done not. Oh, I thought I was being watched. That was you.
朝まで延長とか見かけによらずすげえのな、あんた。
You're wrong. That was the little sister I mentioned before.
妹と。
Don't act so surprised. I was just giving her living expenses.
そういう風には見えなかったぞ。
Ah, she's surprisingly sharp-sighted. So Dean and I don't look like siblings after all.
商売敵。
She's getting really pumped up about this. Perhaps it's just her being weird.
なあ、刹那。
And she let go of my arm already.
本当に私でいいのか？
Not that again, I told you.
私はさ、特別テクもねえし、可愛くもねえし。すぐ素が出ちまうし、リピーターもなかなか
What's she coming out with now?
私なんか
普
通だぞ。
That's fine. Honestly, being normal's fine, surely.
でも
You're all fighting for some normality in your lives, right? You have to be normal, Karin. That's why everyone adores you. Karin squeezes my arm, then
そうだな。
he beams at me like a blooming lotus at the height of summer. By the way, why are you called Karin when everyone else is named after fruit?
あいつらはさ、名前を持ってねえんだ。全部教会に奪われちまった
And
から
how about you then? Perhaps that was one question too many. It certainly makes me feel regretful for an instant. But Karin sounded almost a little boastful.
だから新入りには私たちで名前をつけてやるんだ。決して誰にも奪われることのない本当の名前をな。ただ、私だけは少し事情が違ってさ。
Karin takes the knife from her pocket. My eyes are drawn to the inscription on the blade. Karin quits.
姉貴がさ、くれたんだ。これがお前がお
She already
前で
has
あ
a
る
real
証
name.
だって。これを大切に持ち続ければ、いつか誰かが本当のお前を見つけてくれるって。
So that's why Karin's kept your name all this time. Didn't know that it was important to you. Sorry for holding on to it the other night.
いいって。そりゃ落としたことに気づいた時はすげえ焦ったけどさ。
Karin looks up from the blade to my face.
あんたが見つけてくれたんだろ？
I find myself looking back at her. Her eyes are glittering like marbles.
どうした？
Oh, nothing. Unable to summon up a reply, I end up turning away again. The real her. If she weren't trapped in this hell, she might have been able to discover a different side to herself. You might be a brat, but you do have it within you. But you do have it within your power to bind folk together. I wouldn't have expected that when I first met you.
資質なんかねえよ。私が一番年上だったから、それだけだよ。
So you were born just as they stopped issuing new colors.
ちげえな。
Karin shakes her head and mutters something like she has a bad taste in her mouth.
札の発行が止まった。その日だ。もしあと1日早く生まれてりゃ、私はここにはいなかったんだ。
So the opposite to Nina?
けどまあ、これでよかったのかもしれねえな。
Pretty sure she's not just trying to act strong for me.
教会の言いなりになって終わるだけの人生なんて、まっぴらごめんだしな。
That's why she hides herself away underground, building up the power to oppose the church.
いつか絶対、おふくろみたいに風呂付きの部屋で働くんだ。私は。
She'd be better off rethinking her ambitions, though. That dream of yours has nothing to do with all this.
なことねえよ。全部教会さえぶっ倒しゃそ
You
れ
have
で
no
叶
idea
う
what
ん
you're
だ。
even talking about anyway. Her hate for her surroundings, her adoration for her mother. I wonder which drives her to act. No, I doubt it's either of them. People draw their strength from many different sources. Though at the same time, that's what often makes him unpredictable. Do you still see your mom?
なわけねえだろ。どこで何してんのかも知らねえよ。
That must feel lonely.
別に。どうせ名前を変えて店を転々としてんだろ。よくあることだ。
Now she is just trying to act strong. But even if she's putting on an act, she'll be fine as long as she can keep saying that with confidence. She'll never stray from her path.
けどそうだな。いつかお袋と同じ店で働けりゃいいな。
Keeping it in the family, huh? That might be kind of nice. Now I'm the one about to stray from the proper path.
待ってるからな。
No need for that, really.
んだよ。家まで呼びてえならそう言えよ。
I don't want that either. And just don't come to my house. I live with my family.
平気平気。彼女のふりしていくからさ。
The both of you?
じゃあお袋はあんたの家族に挨拶に来たって設定で。
There's no turning back after that, is there?
いっそそのまま結婚しちまうのも悪くねえな。
No way. One wrong step and it's straight down into the abyss story of my life. What the hell?
この世界が変わったらの話だよな。
True. Gani mumbles and brings her hand to her neck. The collarless have no rights here. She wouldn't be able to work out in the open, let alone get married. In other words, her chances of fulfilling her dream and meeting her mother are... Why don't you go look for her now? Your mom, I mean. What mother wouldn't be happy to see her daughter? What mother wouldn't think about the daughter she's been separated from since birth?
言ったろ。寂しくなんかねえよ。私は。
If you're uncomfortable going to that sort of establishment, I should help. Or I could help. It's kind of pathetic that I can only man up at times like these.
実は昔、こっそりお袋の仕事場を覗きに行ったことがあってさ。
Oh, so you met her.
窓越しにちらっと顔を見ただけでしまいだよ。
Why?
あの頃はまだお袋の仕事がどんなのかわかんなくてさ、お袋がいじめられてると勘違いして出てきた客を全力でボコっちまったんだ。
Poor guy.
で、その客がハリスって男だ。
Catching up the
ほら、衛
guard.
兵長の。
That's some turn of fate right there.
あいつは一目で私が娘だってこと見抜いてさ、いろいろ話してくれたんだ。お袋は私が死んだと思ってるってこと。
Oh, you probably wouldn't wanna...
一人で暮らしてる
Oh
ってこと。
god, I just read that.
それからすごく締まりがいいってこと。
In any case, she thought you're dead, she's happy now. You probably wouldn't wanna... The guard? And what was the last part?
あいつはお袋がどれだけ立派な仕事をしてるかを延々と教えてくれた。
I see, so he's the main culprit for making Karin the way she is.
それが私がお袋を見た最後だ。
What?
決めたんだ。お袋みたいな立派な人間になるまでは
Again,
会いに行か
if
ね
she
え。
was happy with her life, you probably wouldn't wanna... I mean, that's a nice ending to the story right there, isn't it? Did Karin's mom ever realize that her daughter was alive? What's your mom's name?
さあな、覚えてねえよんなもん。
That's...
ただあの時はシトロンって名前で
Oh,
呼ば
and
れて
that's
たな。
why. Citron. Not sure what exactly it signifies, but definitely some sort of citrus fruit. Right. And so that's why she named all of the other people after fruits as well.
そうそう。一応私にも仕事用の名前はあるんだぞ。
Oh, what's yours?
あ、
What's up? Why are you looking away from me? Didn't you want to tell me? I bet it's some super embarrassing porno name, like the kind you'll regret years later.
ちげえよ、普通だよ。
Then you can tell me, right?
それはだな。
Karin looks all around and then in a tiny whisper.
レモン。
That's pretty cute.
よっぽど常連じゃなきゃ教えねえんだからな。呼ぶんじゃねえぞ。
Citrus and lemon. But you'd get angry if I called you Karin in public, right?
当たり前だろ。私はこれでも教会のお尋ね者なんだぞ。
I'll call you Lemon then.
鼻から呼ぶなっつってんだよ。
Hey, don't bite me. Don't go biting my hand.
あんた
Jeez,
なんか
what?
に教えなければよかった。忘れろ、忘れちまえ。
That, oh, Jesus.
せつなさん。
That
ど
voice.
こに行ってらしたんですか？心配したんですよ。
Ah, sorry, I got a bit lost.
その子は。
Tada's gaze fixes on Karin, who is still in the process of biting my hand. Ah, this is Lemon-chan. That sounds really... If that is the sound it makes, then... things are going wrong. Ow, are you trying to eat me?
だから呼ぶなっつってんだろうが。殺すぞ。
Why did you choose that name if you hate it so much?
レモンちゃん
Star of the church. Ever calm and collected, and the urchin's flustered leader. This might be a good chance for the two of them to meet. Come on, say hi. Just do it. I give Karin a push from behind and have her standing facing Sada.
レモンだ。はじめまして。私はサラガーランドです。
She's a friend of the girl, I think her name was Peach, who came to listen to your sermon. Right, Levin?
ああ、そうだよ。ピーチは私のダチだ。なんか文句あっか。
Why is she trying to pick a fight over nothing? Nothing I can do, I suppose. She's face to face with the figurehead of the institution she's sworn to defeat.
そうだったんですか。ピーチちゃん、今日は顔を見せてくれなかったので心配して。レモンちゃん、彼女にお伝えいただけますか？またいつでも遊びに来てくださいと。勘違いするんじゃねえよ。ピーチはあんたに会うためじゃなくて偵察に。偵察？なんでもねえ。どんな理由でも構いませんよ。私はいつでも歓迎します。教会は札なしは立ち入り禁止だろ。確かに用もなく立ち入ることは禁止されていますが、私の名前を出していただければおそらく大丈夫かと。けど、そうだ、ぜひレモンちゃんもご一緒にいらしてください。はあ？どうして私があんたなんかに？私は普段は教会のエントランスで執務に当たっておりますので。
That's Sada for you. Even Karin's left speechless. Who knows? Something might just come of this. Well, maybe. See? She's nice, right? She's right. My rule's to tell her about the church's internal dealings. In that case, there's something I want to pass on to her. Sada really does care for the island. Sada's wishes are the same as hers. ねえ、レモンちゃん。なんだよ。今度、みんなで楽しくおしゃべりをしながら、美味しいお茶でも飲みましょう。Poison. Karin's expression changes in an instant.
やっぱりあんたは教会の人間だよ。
What?
わかったような顔して偉そうなこと喋ってんじゃねえよ。作ったような笑顔向けんじゃねえよ。チャダー。私はあんなもん生まれてこの方一度も飲んだことねえよ。あんたは泥水をすすって喉を潤したことはあんのか？てめえらが垂れ流した得体の知れねえ下水で体を洗ったことはあんのか？ねえよな。あるわけねえよな。想像したこともねえよな。どうせあんたの想像力なんてそんなもんなんだよ。頭の中に花が咲きまくってるやつに私たちの現実なんて見えやしねえんだよ。レモンちゃんな名前で呼ぶんじゃねえよ。私には親からもらった名前があんだよ。あんたらに全部取り上げられちまったけどな。ちょっと食い物を分け与えたくらいで善人気取りか？それともあれっぽっちで私たちがあんたらを許すってマジで考えてんのか？そんなことは。ああ、はっきり答えるよ、サラ・ガーランド。
Hey, just calm down.
あんたはどうなんだよ、セツナ。あんたはどっちの味方なんだよ。
Of course, I'm... Whose side am I on? The church, which imposes a system of rule over the island's residents, or these children who band together to survive despite being ostracized by their community? Which side is righteous? Which side should I support? I can't make a choice on those terms. If I were to align myself with either one, it would only make me a hypocrite. Just an outsider after all.
だよな。分かってたよ。分かってたのに。一瞬でも期待しちまった私が、今日の話は忘れてくれ。あんたの助けなんかいらねえ。私は私でやってく。
Oops. Spitting these words at me, Karin runs off her back hunched. I'm left rooted to the spot. Sada has fallen to her knees. Why am I an outsider? Why can't I do anything when there are people suffering right in front of me? I'm always like this. No matter how hard I struggle, how far I fly... Okay, brain. No matter how hard I struggle, how far I try to reach, I'm never able to grasp hold of the solution. I only ever graze it with my fingertips. What's the difference between that and a mere observation? Why am I always like this? Why will I always be like this? Not per se. You're not at fault, Sarah. It's probably this world that's at fault. It doesn't permit those kinds of dreams. And me for being chronically incapable of doing anything about it. The lift that's pulling us up feels especially slow. Traveling at the same speed inside the lift, we can't feel it accelerating. It makes me almost wonder if we're really heading upward or not. We could be falling further and further downwards, for all we know. My feet are frozen to the spot. A bottomless fear grips me. Sada's eyes are downcast. She hasn't uttered a single word. I'm the same. I can't help but feel that whatever I say, it'll be inappropriate. Anything about Sada, Karin, the church, Avalon, the island, whichever I choose to talk about, it won't be my words. What can I talk about in my own words? I lost someone important to me a long time ago. No, it's not quite right. I killed them. I gathered the remaining fragments of my memories. I faced the past I've forgotten and the facts I couldn't then accept. I think I probably killed her. Don't want that to happen again. But even if I were able to turn back time, all I'd do is repeat the same mistake. I haven't changed at all, not since that day when I was unable to make amends during our final encounter. When I could only stand there watching idly by. But I can't be who I was that day forever. I have to change. I want to change. This might be the first time I've actually wished for it. I've been looking for myself all this time, and I've clung to the self I've discovered. She believed in me to the end. I'd always thought that staying the same and preserving who I was that day was the least I could do to lay her soul to rest, but that's not good enough. If I don't change, I'll never be able to save anyone. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it now. Who knows? What if Sada's said... if what Sada said about this planet's history is true, then people have fought each other over and over throughout time. Misunderstanding one another, hating each other, killing each other. If this world is what results of all that, then we might not have any scope to change. But people are reincarnated, right? Even if they've lost their memories or forgotten the lessons they've learned, those experiences should still be etched in their hearts. It's not so that they'll repeat the same mistakes. We're reborn so that we never make the same mistakes in our next lives. I should have died that day. I should have died once. But she gave me another chance. That's why I'm going to change. If I don't do it now, I won't be able to face anyone. Not the girl who sent me here, and not least of all, myself. Sada. There's a warmth through my chest. Her arms are wrapped around my back, her hair tickling my nose. Back then, yamemashita. That's an interesting phrasing. Yameru means to stop. Would that also mean to kill? Because it can mean to seize, to end something. In that way, it can definitely be used in a way to say, I killed someone. I ended someone. Her arms squeeze me tightly. Her nails dig into my back. You lit him on fire. My back grows hot. The areas touched by Sada's body heat are searing.
今すぐに生まれ変わりたいです。
Sada, you. I cast my eyes to the floor. Oh, of course. Her lips meet mine. They're hot, burning. All thoughts and emotions vanish. That soul sensation dominates both my body and mind. She bites my lower lip, teasingly, relentlessly over and over. Like she's communicating her love to her sweetheart. Just stop it, Sada. I draw away from her. What's with you? Who am I to you? Listen, Sada, I'm just a stranger. Am I really?
大切な人を亡くされたんですよね。
Yes, that's right.
今も忘れられないんですよね。
Yes, that's exactly right.
私も同じです。だから
Why, what?
変わりましょう、せつなさん。今この瞬間から。
Our lips lock once more. I have no energy left to resist. Nothing changes simply because you want it to change. You have to throw something away in order to change, discover something new. But to me, she's...
せつなさん、私は感謝したいです。
A thread of silver bridges our lips.
この行為を許してくれた昔の人に心から感謝したいです。
Sada buries her face in my chest. Something's filling the gaping hole in my heart. That might be what's necessary to stop it from bleeding any further.
お願いです。せつなさん、せめて上に着くまでこのまま。
Are we heading up or plunging down? The lift that's pulling us up really does feel slow. People are reincarnated, but how long does that take? 5 years, 50, maybe a millennium, 10 millennia? Are we doomed to suffer until that time comes? I think I'll end that here. Dude, the story writing is pretty good, I think, in this game. Every time I play, a lot happens. So with that, I'm gonna end this episode. Thank you for watching, and we will continue this next time. I'll see you guys in the next video or stream. Bye bye.